Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my Endgame spoiler review. Again, this is a warning. If you haven't seen the movie, please go leave this video and then watch the movie and then come back to this. And if you've already seen the movie, if you want to see my spoiler review, if you haven't seen part 1, please go check that out. So, let's get to part 2, shall we? I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but I'm gonna try to be as fast as I can, guys. So, yeah, so back to what I was saying. Okay, so the Avengers and the Guardians, they got the stones, right? And it's obvious that Tony made their own gauntlet out of his nanotech, and Thor steps in to take the responsibility. Like, okay, sure, he messed up Infinity War, but remember, he's not the only one who messed up Infinity War. It was pretty much almost everybody in there, but anyways, he wants to take the responsibility. I think he wanted to sacrifice his own life, but no. Bruce just steps in, and then I liked how the gauntlet expanded, and then, oh my gosh, what I saw earlier in the film, what the stones did to Thanos, like they burned up like his arm, half of his neck, half of his face. And that did the same to Bruce. It was so powerful, like, it's like he couldn't take it. But he snapped his fingers. And I think he brought everybody back. But he fell to the ground, and at least he got a cast. So Ant-Man was watching outside, and he thinks everything is jolly and peaceful, but until the older Nebula from 2014 led Thanos and the Black Order to the Avengers compound, and then he just attacks the compound, and gosh. Oh, but can I just say, when Steve and Tony were getting more Pym particles in the 1970s to get more to travel, I liked it how Tony met his dad, finally, like, he met his dad for the first time in a really long time. And then Cap, he was in a different room, but he saw Peggy Carter, and I'm just like, oh, wow. Wow. I was getting emotional there. But seeing Tony talking to his dad, that was amazing. I thought he was going to reveal, like, himself to Howard, like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm your son from the future, so be easy on me. And finally, they brought back the original Jarvis Butler from the Agent Carter TV show, guys. Yeah, see? Marvel and Disney still cares. Also, bring the show back, please. I love that show. Okay, anyways, yeah. So, enough of that. So yeah, Thanos attacks, and then he waits for Nebula to get the stones. And then Hawkeye goes into the ship, and there's like Outriders, and then he's just doing his thing. This is kind of complicated here. I mean, some of the Avengers are like underneath, like the debris. So I guess like the next 3 remaining Avengers like standing up was like Steve, Tony, and Thor. And oh, but what was really cool though is that back in the time travel thing, Thor is still worthy of Mjolnir, so he grabbed it and then he took it with him, and then he finally has Mjolnir and Stormbreaker in his hands, so he was like overpowered, and that was just so freaking cool. And then there's this intense fight that happened with the 3 Avengers fighting Thanos. It was really intense, guys. It was more intense than the fight in Civil War, the fight in Infinity War. I mean, this is the most intense Marvel movie we've ever gotten from Disney. So, man, let's see. Thanos knocks out Tony, and then Thor attacks. But how is Thanos so freaking stronger than Thor? Like, he grabs, like, his butter knife type of sword, and then he how is he freaking worthy of Stormbreaker? Like, he holds it, he's pushing it on Thor's chest. But then, as soon as Mjolnir lifts up from the ground, and Thanos gets attacked, who is worthy now that picks up Mjolnir? That's right, our boy, Captain America. Everybody in the theater was just freaking out. And I was just like, yeah, you got this, Cap. You go, man. So he was just attacking Thanos. And, oh my gosh, I mean, Thanos was still kicking his butt. And then, out of nowhere, Thanos is still using his bird-life-looking sword. And he breaks the shield. But Cap still uses it. But then finally, he gets a voice from his communications, and that was taking me a few seconds to pick it up, like, who's that voice? And then finally he said, like, Sam Wilson, and I'm like, whoa. And then out of nowhere, guys, these portals, I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange did this, there was a lot of portals that were coming out, like, all the remaining, like, the rest of the Avengers and the Guardians, they came back, guys. So first it was Black Panther and his crew. The other people that were still alive, they had to join, like, those, I guess, like, parties. And then there's Black Panther saying, like, me bo bet, you know, like, the chant. And, oh my gosh, I was crying, guys. There was a lot of scenes I was crying, guys. Everybody was fighting. Well, yeah, so there was a huge army, right, of the Avengers and the Black Order. And finally, that line that we've always wanted to hear Cap said ever since we thought he was going to say it in Age of Ultron. He says, Avengers, assemble. And then he grabs Mjolnir, and then, oh my gosh. And then with Cap and Thor, Thor's like, no, I want Stormbreaker. You get the tiny puny one. Oh, man. That was pretty funny. And finally, there's this one scene where I'm pretty sure a lot of women will appreciate in this film is that every female superhero was joined together in one scene, and they were just fighting each other, not fighting each other, fighting the Black Order. And Star-Lord sees Gamora, but it's not the same Gamora that he knows now. And then, like, this Gamora, she's like, really, this guy? So yeah, they're all fighting for the gauntlet, and then there was more fight scenes, like Spider-Man, well, no, let's see, Hawkeye grabs it, then Black Panther, then Spider-Man, then Captain Marvel, but then Captain Marvel was fighting Thanos because Thanos was trying to get it, and then Tony was fighting with Thanos, and then as soon as Thanos had the gauntlet on, he snapped, but here's the twist. The stones weren't on the glove. Because there was this line that Thanos said in the beginning of the movie, like, Thanos said, I am the inevitable. So he said that again, but as soon as Tony got the freaking stones on his arm, he's like, and I am Iron Man. And it's been like, what, 11 years since we've heard him say that? And then he snaps his fingers, and then the Black Order just dies, including Thanos. Of course, Tony had to go through some severe burns. It really affects him this time than Hulk and Thanos. So, Peter goes to check up on him. Tony is weak. And then Pepper comes by, and then she tells her husband, Tony Stark, Iron Man, to rest. And I don't know why I didn't cry at that scene. I mean, it was very powerful and emotional, guys. And then at the very end, we get to everybody getting back to their home worlds. And with Tony's funeral, like, every Avenger and Guardian was there. Even Secretary Ross, which is his 4th appearance in the MCU. By the way, speaking of cameos, Joe Russo, one of the Russo brothers, is in this movie, but there was some, like, weird, disgusting, like, I guess, like, plot to this where he's talking to Captain America about, like, therapy, and I'm like, they better not go to that direction. I hope they don't. If you guys know what I'm talking about. That's our code word, guys. Disgusting, okay? That's our code word. And, finally we see Nick Fury. And, yeah, so Pepper, she puts out, like, this, like, little boat, but what she puts on there is, it's Tony's old arc reactor. And it's the same one that she gave to him, like, proof that Tony Stark still has a heart. And I thought that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool reference. There were so many MCU themes in here, and I was crying, you know. And then, Bruce did make a promise to the Ancient One that he has to return the stone. So, who returns them, though? Cap. But here's the twist to this. There's more plot twists, guys. He goes into his quantum suit, right? And he takes Mjolnir with him, apparently. And he was supposed to come back, but he took off the thing. And what does Bucky find on a bench? Old Steve Rogers. I was like, wow. At least he's alive, though, guys. This movie gives the actors an opportunity where their contracts don't have to expire. I mean, sure, Robert Downey Jr. won't be returning anymore. I'm pretty sure ScarJo will still be sticking around, but gosh. As Steve gives the shield to Falcon, that hinted at, and I guess like foreshadowing that he's going to be the next Captain America. And there's just new designs on it. On the shield. Don't worry, it's still like the classic form, but there's like lines on it. I guess that's pretty much it. Well, Thor, I guess he's joining the Guardians, but here's the thing. He called the team the Asgardians of the Galaxy. And I thought there was a moment that he was going to kiss Valkyrie before he left. And, see, Thor and Star-Lord, they were still having competition, but it was still sad that Gamora's not there. And Vision, though, I thought he was going to be fixed. And Quicksilver, I thought he was going to come back. But then again, this gives us a great opportunity for the X-Men, though, so he might come back. So yeah, and they show us like I guess like a flashback clip with Steve and Peggy. They're just married and having such a good time together, and they had this song from the Winter Soldier that I actually love. I guess it's a 50s song. I don't know, but it was really good. And the end credits, they had almost every actor on there. They were showing like the past films they've been in, and finally we get to the 6 main ones with their signed signatures. And I was just like, wow. And then at the very end, with the Marvel Studios logo, you can hear like just hammering sounds. Like those are the sounds of Tony building the first Iron Man suit in the cave back in the first Iron Man. I'm like, wow. And everybody, the whole theater was packed. We were cheering, we were clapping, we were screaming, we were being excited and all that. I was just crying out, guys. And this movie means so much to me, guys, is that it really is the culmination of everything. This week, I've tried so hard to stay away from spoilers, like especially on YouTube, because I know there's been other parts of the country that this movie's been released, and there's like some clips out there, especially on Twitch, so I had to be careful. I'm not on Twitch anyways, guys, but I'm just letting you know. So, I would give this movie a good 10 out of 10. That's how I rate it. It reminded me so much of last year when I went to see Infinity War. Yeah. I guess that's it for the review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ready. And I got one more video coming out after this one, guys. This one, I hope it doesn't get emotional, but it still affects me to this day, so. Alright, guys. You know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ready. And if you haven't seen Endgame, please go check it out. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye-bye. May the Lord be with you guys. Always love you guys. Peace out, guys. Remember, whatever it takes. Alright, bye, guys.